Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way. From birth to graduation, your first job to your home and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and the programs including Financial Literacy Quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso Program, Junior Cooperatives in Secondary Schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC Grants. The Credit Union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News for today, Monday, July 13th, 2020. I'm Beverly Telesford.
And I'm Odette Campbell. Tonight's leads: families trying to find answers as 2 men die following violent weekend incidents.
Policewoman hurled 6 feet by reckless motorbike rider.
Market vendors meet with the government officials, and GBN hosting vendors forum on Beyond the Headlines this evening.
In sports, Windies triumph over England in first test.
And the national female record holder in the javelin, Kandisha Scott, looking forward to the next step in her career.
And then around the globe, Barbados unrolls strict COVID-19 protocols as commercial flights resume.
And Florida sets new state daily case record of the coronavirus.
Details of these and other stories after the break.
Get high making money moves with the NLA's new Aces High Scratch game with 4 chances to win. Beat the dealer's card to win the prize shown. Reveal an A symbol. And just like that, you are automatically a winner. Scratch away to win the top prize of $10,000. Win easy with Scratch. Must be 18 or older to play.
And this is the news at 7. Our first segment this evening, not too much of a good news, actually bad news. Tears flowed in at least 2 parishes over the weekend. Families and their relatives were greeted with the very bad news that they lost loved ones due to violent incidents. One of the incidents occurred in St. David and the other in St. Patrick. Well, our first report comes from Christelina John, who visited the bereft family in St. David.
One man is assisting police with investigation into the stabbing death of 53-year-old Angus Peter Blesdale in St. David. According to reports, police responded to a call just after 9:30 p.m. Friday of a stabbing incident that occurred at a village shop. On arrival, the victim was found at his residence not too far away with a stab wound to the upper left side of his chest. He was immediately transported to a medical practitioner and was pronounced dead. The 2 weekend incidents brings the number of homicide for the year so far to 12. Christelina John, GBN News.
Hours after Blesdale lost his life in St. David, another young man was murdered, this time in the parish of St. Andrew. Rena Pear reports.
The Royal Grenada Police Force today confirmed the death of 28-year-old Kyron Tanish of Gladstone Road, Grenville, St. Andrew, who lost his life on Saturday night after sustaining injuries from a single chop wound to the upper part of his body from an unknown individual. Tanish was just at the entrance of his home when the incident occurred. He was pronounced dead minutes after arriving at the Princess Alice Hospital. His older sister, Jilma Tanish, who was too distorted to appear on camera, said her brother would be greatly missed.
And to me and to everybody who knew him, he was that nice, kind, loving, honest person. Fun to be about, to be around, you know, just easygoing. I mean, As anybody, young person, everybody had a good side and a bad side. But other than that, yeah, he was just nice. And to me, just too nice. So that he'll be greatly missed. By not only family members, but by everyone. Like I said, everyone who knew him. Everybody.
The sister explains when she got the news of her brother's death, she was in shock, as she was not aware that he had any conflict with anyone.
Trust me, I was shocked, because none of us was expecting that. Just to know, like, he wasn't involved in nothing, not recently, no time I could think about it, and if he had anything, was maybe just like, since in school days, going to school, you understand? Things come and resolve. So then, it was a shock to everybody because nobody wasn't expecting that. Not to say, not because his family members were cutting with a covering up nothing, you understand? He was nothing, not no drug related, no alcohol. He was an alcoholic, nothing, you understand?
According to her, they are yet to hear from the police on her brother's death and if any arrest was made. The release issued by the RGPF stated that investigation is ongoing. For GBN News, I am Rina Pear reporting.
And still with news from the police, but this time one of their own. A policewoman is nursing multiple injuries this evening after being tossed into the air by a motorbike. Hers was the end product of a gathering which left the police scratching their heads. It's as if some people could not wait for a freeing up of sorts. The very first weekend after the curfew was abolished, people converged at one of the hot spots in the north of the island, during which the policewoman was injured. Sherry and Blackman-Stephen has that story.
A massive gathering on Bathway Beach on Sunday evoked a number of concerns about the police response to events that violates the COVID-19 regulations. People who took the time to enjoy the first weekend curfew-free say they were shocked that on arrival at Bathway, they encountered what is described as a carnival-like event. GBN reached out to the community relations of the Royal Grenada Police Force, which issued a statement reminding persons that mass informal gathering, as was on display at Bathway Beach at the weekend, is illegal as per COVID-19 regulation. The statement says that persons who have plans of engaging in these informal activities are encouraged to cease and desist from doing so. The police are also reminding persons that the COVID-19 regulations in respect of mandatory wearing of masks and physical distancing are still in effect. In addition, the police says that amplified music in private motor vehicles must be played consistent to that of the Noise Control Act. Meanwhile, a motorcycle rider is in police custody, assisting with investigations into an incident in which an officer on duty was knocked over at Bathway Beach in St. Patrick on Sunday. Police say the female officer sustained numerous bodily injuries after being thrown into the air and landing about 6 feet from where she was executing her duties. She is said to be currently on medical leave. Cherry and Blackman-Stephen, GBN News.
Almost 1 week after government lifted the curfew, allowing full freedom to traverse the state, some people who wanted the curfew lifted now have a change of heart and want the curfew reinstated. Callers to GBN's To The Point program expressed their opinion following 2 homicides and a number of fêtes on the weekend.
We need to have the gallows rack. Keep the curfew, leave the curfew as it is, the freedom as it is, and just let the RGPF do what they have to do, without favor and without malice. I don't think we should just take up the curfew, but I think the law should take its course. People have to learn to behave and learn to respect the law.
Closed down, they're too disrespectful to others' health. Curfew don't stop them bad boys from killing. At the time of the party, where was Mr. Gale and his squad to disperse the fete at Bathway? We want the curfew, especially in Mirabel St. Andrew. Superintendent Cohen said the beaches are open with no restrictions when he should have said no time restrictions, but the protocols must be maintained. Also, Superintendent Cohen is saying that people should not wear masks under their chin, but he is seen in Guava with his mask under his chin.
I'm calling to say, if there is no COVID in Grenada, why is it that people can recreate? I don't have a problem with that because there is no COVID in Grenada.
No to the reinstating of curfew. However, the police should develop new strategies in dealing with the situations during this pandemic. I am neither here nor there with the curfew. With or without it, what our country needs is good discipline, education, and strong leadership. There is no correlation between the incidents and the lifting of curfew. There is need for self-discipline. The laws must be enforced. Bring back the curfew, lockdown if they feel they can do as they please.
The curfew has nothing to do with behavior pattern. The people have to discipline themselves.
Nothing to do with curfew and no curfew. Murders have taken place. At one time, we had 15 murders just prior to our election.
Curfew have no relation with this chopping and things like that. For me, the curfew, you could leave the curfew till 12.
Curfew would not have prevented the gathering in Battery either. Curfew doesn't have to come back. Let's enforce the different aspects of the Emergency Powers Act. Let the police do their work. The rest of us don't have to be locked down.
We are paid to loan, let us pay. We're not, the hope of the government, I'm certain, is not to deprive people of their fundamental rights.
Varying points of view on that subject there. This is the news at 7. Coming up, the vendors meet government on the closure of the market. And on tonight's Beyond the Headlines program, we will have a market vendors forum. We'll also be looking at the history and culture of the Grenadian market life. You won't want to miss that program this evening.
Our superheroes are all among us. They don't wear capes nor have superpowers. In fact, they appear to be quite ordinary. They are the ones who provide us with food. They are our farmers, our grocery store workers, our vendors. They are our fishermen. They are the ones who heal us, our doctors and medical practitioners. They are the ones who protect us, our police officers. They are all the other essential workers who make this period bearable. And how can we forget our teachers, dedicated to educating our children no matter the circumstance? To everyone who is doing their part to make sure the wheel keeps turning, Ariza says, thank you.
Wants to save 30%. Everybody. Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the best fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, keeping you connected. Terms and conditions apply.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with Tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with Tropical. Can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with Tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with Tropical.
Local agents George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. Telephone number 440-8787 or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life.
Free groceries for 1 year when you shop at the food fair. Up to $8,400 in groceries. Every $50 spent between June 15th and September 30th gives you the opportunity to enter into the grand prize draw for October 9th, 2020. Third prize, free groceries for 3 months. Second prize, free groceries for 6 months. And the grand prize, free groceries every month for 1 year. There will be exciting giveaways monthly. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets. This promotion is sponsored by Food Fair Supermarket, Dutch Lady, Chief, Promo, Danny, and Supreme. Social distancing and hygienic protocols will be maintained at all times.
And leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here even when the future seems unclear, because one thing is certain: you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
And this is the news at 7. Welcome back. Market vendors have been seeking answers, and today they did have an audience. They met with the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Infrastructure, Ms. Marina Jessamy. She held discussions to explain the government's decision to temporarily close the vendors' market in St. George. We get the details in this dispatch.
GBN has been informed that Monday's meeting is one of 3 to take place with different sections of market vendors. One vendor who spoke to GBN said that they were reminded of the notice issued last week to cease and desist from using the facility for vending, and that all the items at the facility should be removed. The ministry's notice states that the St. George's Market is not open for business until further notice to undertake infrastructural work to enhance the ambience of the market and to support compliance with the sanitization requirements of the COVID-19 protocol. The vendor told GBN that the arrangements in place is for vegetable vendors to ply their trade at the National Stadium car park. However, he said there are no arrangements for other vendors, such as those who sell food, clothing, and other items. He said one of the outcomes from Monday's meeting is that government officials disclosed that some operators within the market, such as nail technicians, should not be doing business at the market. Vendors took protest action last week, Thursday morning, calling for the removal of the manager of the market for the one-day notice of the market closure. Government says when the facility is reopened, people must comply with the COVID-19 protocols, which include use of sanitizing solutions, as well as face coverings. Some market vendors and a government representative will be tonight's guests on GBN's Beyond the Headlines, beginning at 8:35 to address pressing matters. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
The parliamentary elections constituency offices resumed business on Monday. Education Officer Ferdinand Phillip says they have heard the pleas of people who expressed the need for the voters' registration card and come to realize its importance to the people. We get more in this report.
People who have applied for renewed voter registration identification cards can now collect same as all parliamentary elections constituency offices recommenced operations on Monday.
It's going to be done in 2 tranches. For the persons in the month of February who applied, now we we started the replacement process on the 3rd of February, and we closed our offices on the 13th of March. So all the persons who applied during the month of February, these persons can come to collect their voters' ID as of today. Persons who applied in the month of March, these persons pretty soon, and I believe maybe as early as next week, we would make the announcement encouraging such persons to come and to collect their voters' ID. That's for persons who applied in March.
The ID cards will be valid for a period of 10 years. Civic and Education Officer for the Parliamentary Elections Office, Ferdinand Phillip, during a GIS program, said the interest by Grenadians to have their voter ID cards was demonstrated even more during the COVID-19 lockdown.
So many persons have been calling for that document. Not everybody has a passport. Not everybody has an NIS card and so forth. And somebody indicated to me they wanted that card to present to a foreign entity, and the entity indicated to them that the NIS card would not do. The voter's ID is what, because in their thinking, the voter's ID is a national ID. It is not, however, but in the thinking of several groupings, it is a national ID. And so the importance of it cannot be overemphasized. We notice, although there was a fluctuation, we were actually registering just under 2,000 persons per week. You know, and some of them more, some offices more so than others. I will say to you, and you know, hats off to the persons in St. John and St. Mark, you know, at some of the smaller constituencies, they really had a very active turnout of persons designed to get their replacement ID.
Phillips said the process for new ID cards with the new regulations may take from 3 weeks to 1 month for the most. He's also encouraging people to walk with a passport if possible to make the process quicker. Only the applicant of the ID will be allowed to collect his or her ID with the required receipt. Operations begin at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, and according to Philip, COVID-19 protocol will be in full effect. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
And we're moving on now to the labor relations front, where the exchange between the management of Grenlec and the Technical and Allied Workers Union is continuing. As Rena Pear tells us, a sticking point relates to annual workers' vacation.
President of the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union, Andrew Lewis, said during the lockdown period, workers at the Lone Electricity Company were told that they were placed on vacation leave, a matter that was not previously discussed with the union. Lewis says that the action taken by the company was illegal and unethical, and as such, a protest was held last week by the workers along with TAU. This morning, workers were out again at the Dusty Highway branch with their union T-shirts as a sign of solidarity with their union representative, as a letter received by the union from Grenlec was not favorable. Lewis said that after months of discussions, Grenlec has refused to budge on the matter.
It says, additionally, we have given further consideration to our discussions at the meeting this morning and are not able to accede to your demand that team members who did not attend work or who were not working from home during the period April 20th to May 20th should not utilize any of the annual vacation leave. The company has reneged and now gone back to April 20th. So when we thought we were making progress, when we thought that very few more steps to go, the company have said, oh, so you decide that TAU and the workers will determine their industrial destiny. I will not listen to the HR department and will complain that, sorry, Ms. Slocum, I don't want to call her Ms. Slocum, I don't want to call her name, yes. We'll call workers in and threaten them, right? And these are workers who are born Grenadians, eh?
In response, Grenlec sent a press release expressing their disappointment with TAU in taking industrial action at this time, further explaining that Grenlec scheduled vacation for team members who were not working from April 20th to May 20th, 2020. This vacation schedule applied to leave carried out from the previous years and up to 50% of the 2020 vacation allocation. It went along to say that the company decided to preserve at least 50% of each team member's 2020 vacation allocation, so team members could request time off later this year. Grenlec said they did not agree with TAU that team members' vacation would not be scheduled during the lockdown period. The company has referred the matter to the Labour Commissioner for resolution. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
We take a break, but still to come, miles of sargassum seaweed to clean on Subi's shoreline. Stay with us.
The Esplanade Mall, something for everyone. Go on a shopping spree today and experience some magic.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
Hills and Valley Med Care Center, located on Grenville Street, St. George's, has a highly professional team that gives excellent service in massage therapy, physiotherapy, speech therapy, medical consultation, and more. Hills and Valley Med Care Center sells a wide range of medical supplies, offers home visits for patients in Grenada and Carriacou, and opens Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. through to 7 p.m. Visit or call Hills and Valley Med Care Center today, 435-6904.
It's new, innovative and classy, and it cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together. Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand-name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Who wants to save 30%? Everybody. Now more than ever, Flow understands the need to make your dollar stretch. Our new bundles can help you save 30% off your current bill. Plus, get a free speed upgrade on your in-home internet. Simply add your mobile to your current home services account and save 30%. It's easy. Sign up now and save. All on the best fixed and mobile network on island. Visit a Flow store or call us at 1-800-804-2994 for more information. Flow, keeping you connected. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the news at 7, and we're taking you to Hollywood now because Grenadian-born Victoria Cross hero Johnson Bihari is in talks with Netflix and Fox Film to produce the biopic. It promises to be an interesting tale, and it comes after The Barefoot Soldier.
Johnson Bihari, who was shot twice in the head and horrifically injured by a grenade while saving ambushed soldiers in Iraq, is in dialogue with Netflix over a film of his life. The Iraq War hero was awarded the Victoria Cross for saving 30 of his comrades while also surviving being shot in the head twice. The father of two faced a troubled start to life, growing up in poverty in Grenada before joining a gang and dealing drugs when he moved to London at the age of 19. He managed to turn his life around after joining the British Army in 2001, and in 2005 he became the first soldier in 18 years to receive Britain's highest honour from the Queen for bravery, the Victoria Cross. Lance Sergeant Bihari, 40, of the Princess of Wales Royal Regiment, told The Sun, a UK tabloid newspaper, the idea is humbling and he doesn't mind which actor plays him as long as it is true to his life. He said he would work with script writers to tell the story for those who didn't come back and for his colleagues with him. He refers to his life as a fairy tale and proved that hard work can turn things around. The biopic would be an adaptation of his book Barefoot Soldier. Bihari was awarded the Victoria Cross, having carried out 2 individual acts of heroism while serving in Iraq in 2004, saving the lives of his platoon. On May 1, 2004, he was driving a Warrior tracked armored vehicle which was hit by multiple rocket-propelled grenades. His platoon suffered multiple casualties, and while his head was exposed to fire, Bihari drove the Warrior through the ambush to safety and, still under fire, extracted his wounded comrades. He required brain surgery for his injuries and underwent intense treatment to recover, learning how to walk, talk and eat again. He was still recovering in April 2005 when he was presented the Victoria Cross by Queen Elizabeth at Buckingham Palace. The unwelcome sargassum has returned to the waters of Grenada. The team employed to clean up the invasive weeds at Soubise spoke to GBN's Christina John.
Miles of sargassum spread across the seashores. For this gang of workers, cleaning up sargassum appears a never-ending task. With the movement of the tides, huge amounts of the seaweed accumulate daily. 1 year ago, these workers were employed by the Ministry of Climate Resilience to clean up. Alma Bain is a contractor on the site. She says, although they are not sure what the coming months will bring, the hardest task is during the months of June, July and August, when the largest amounts come in.
Well, right now it's the season for it. It's come heavy right now. When the tide comes, well, it take it, it goes. Sometimes it comes back, it bank up high, and so our job now is to take it off the beach. We throw it on to the top. That's on the land side on the top. Most of the times, farmers come, they take whatever they need, or so they transport, they go with it. Then the rest will just die down. Then we throw, when it comes back out again, we just go back, we throw up again. So then it's just like ongoing something. A gang clean from Trenchtown, we go right up to Telescope Beach. So we go up, we come down, up, down.
The collection is usually deposited on a site created for the purpose of dumping. They are a little bit challenged, however, but she says they have the tools to accomplish the job. Bain says farmers often come and take loads of the sargassum seaweed for their farms, which is a great ease for them, as there is less stench to deal with.
Most of the times, it depends on where you have to throw. The throwing out does be a problem sometimes, because getting the road to pass to go and empty out the barrow or something like that, most of the time that does be a problem. But once like it died on over the weekend, then the Monday you could throw again, because it does. When the rain comes, the sun take it die. Well, most of them come on it. You ask them if they say yes, it do a lot of good for them. Because they keep coming. I guess if they wasn't getting result, they wouldn't keep coming back and taking more or something like that. So I guess it does them good. They say you have certain crops it's good for. You know, it does best with certain crops and so forth. But
Christina John, GBN News.
And it's not only in Grenada the problem exists. Several Caribbean islands have a similar problem, and I believe someone caught it, click, click, click on the camera, and it's a subject under tonight's GBN ISOR microscope.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISOR is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. We changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Tonight's Eyesore features video footage of sargassum seaweed that stretches as far as the eyes can see in the northeast waters of Antigua. There are similar scenes across other eastern Caribbean islands as the sargassum invades the seas again. Recently, islanders have used the invasive seaweed as a natural fertilizer. You can send in your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or on our other social media platforms.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
Weather for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight, partly cloudy and hazy with light to moderate isolated showers. Tonight's minimum temperature, 25.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open water. Tides high at 8:30 p.m. and low at 3 a.m. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:50. Weather for Tuesday, July 14th, partly cloudy and hazy with light, isolated nighttime showers. Weather for Wednesday, July 15th, mostly fair and hazy with light, isolated early morning showers. And weather for Thursday, July 16th, partly cloudy with light showers occasionally. Stay with us. Sports is up next.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a Communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal. Join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made.
Ofio.com.
Sale. All the outlets, hotspot outlets. You're going to go to the Carnage, the Grenville, or the Sutter's hotspot, and you get sales and deals on all items. You can get these on potato, you can get these on saltfish, onion, garlic, mackerel, toilet paper, and we even have the currants and the raisin at $10 per pound, lowest price island-wide. So people just come down or go up or go across, but just make sure and go to hotspots.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
Well, good evening, sporting fans. A packed sportscast for you this evening. We're looking at Candicia Scott and what her next steps are. We'll go to Jamaica, where the athletes are slowly returning to the court. And, of course, we go to the UK, where the Windies were on fire. We start now with the national female record holder in the javelin, Candicia Scott, saying the next step in her journey is both unexpected and exciting. Candicia is pursuing a master's degree in athletic administration at Texas A&M. She recently graduated with a bachelor's from the University of Minnesota.
With the outdoors season being cancelled, I was able to get my bachelor's degree from the University of Minnesota without using up my eligibility for competition. Hence, I am able to attend another university to further my education. In light of me choosing to do my master's degree in athletic administration is basically because of my love for sports and wanting to help younger athletes to achieve their goals as upcoming student athletes.
Scott became the 2018 NJCAA champion in javelin before joining University of Minnesota.
My 2019 year, I redshirted, so I competed unattached in not so many meets. This year was supposed to be my first competing for the university, but the season got cancelled because of COVID, and I'll be finishing up my degree. So the opportunity showed itself to attend another university to complete my master's while still being able to compete under the NCAA. So I took it.
They say you win some and you lose some. Congratulations to her, although she would have liked to have had more activity on the tracks. And let's go now to the big news, cricket pitch. It was Super Sunday for West Indies as sensational batting from Jermaine Blackwood led them to victory over England by 4 wickets on the final day of the first test. The 28-year-old made 95 as West Indies chased to reach 200 for 6 in the final session. The win was achieved when John Campbell clipped a ball into the outside to scamper a single with skipper Jason Holder. He came to the crease with the West Indies in deep trouble at 27 for 3 and led them to a famous victory. This was the West Indies' 4th victory in the last 7 matches against England. Well, just in case you missed it, here are some of the highlights.
Away and try to open up the offside, and that's the fine line.
Swings it away and swings it away well. One bounce 4. Is there a tickle down the leg side? There is. Well, Archer is reviewed straight away. Gabriel celebrating because he thought that was a fifer. But Archer, as the last man, has reviewed. So England are done. Excellent performance from West Indies. Excellent from that man on screen, Shannon Gabriel. 5 for 75, and West Indies will need 200 to win this Test match.
Shuffling across, exactly what Nick Knight was talking about. England have their first.
Length perfect, just a hint of movement.
Oh, gotta be out. Absolutely plumb. Brilliant from Jofra Archer. 2 slips, a catcher in front now on the offside. Gorgeous shot, just opened the face to find the gap. First boundary of the innings.
That's the length and of course the line that you're looking for. That's time enough for the pre-lunch session.
Nice from Chase. Was a chance down the leg side. Oh, run out chance, run out chance. They were virtually both at the same end and Crawley fumbled. Oh, has he gone through? It's gone through. That's 3 chances. Butler, Crawley and Burns.
Oh, that's a nasty delivery. That is a nasty delivery. Horrible to face. Nothing's happening. Jofra Archer has made it happen.
What a delivery. All the hard work that he's put in.
Edged found the gap, and that has brought up his half century. Well played, Jermaine Blackwood. And that's the end of the session. West Indies go to tea, 143 for 4.
Oh, it's just over. For a moment there, I thought Jermaine Blackwood had done a double. That's how he got out in the first innings, caught by Anderson at mid-off. Gone this time. That is a peach from Stokes. Another ball that moved away late, took the outside edge.
Goes for the pull, and that could be 4. There's no deep square leg. Here's 4 valuable runs. Oh, straight to mid-off. It could be such a vital blow. Will it be? Victory for the West Indies, a most significant win for Jason Holder and his team. Great credit to their skill, their commitment, and they've started in the most emphatic fashion, winning by 4 wickets here at the AGS Bowl.
What a lovely day indeed it was for West Indies. Well, Jason Holder has saluted the men of the match, Shannon Gabriel and Jermaine Blackwood, after they led the charge in the magnificent 4-wicket win for the West Indies over England in the first test. Gabriel took 5 for 75, giving him match figures of 9 for 137 to bowl England out for 313. Holder was ecstatic.
What Shannon's done in this game is nothing surprising. You know, Shannon is one of those guys who just keeps doing it because, you know, he has a big heart. You know, he has a massive, massive heart, and he's been through a lot. You know, he's been through a lot, and he wants success so badly. You know, his body hasn't held up, I guess, the way he would like in the past, but to see him back out there fit and running in and bowling fast for West Indies, you know, is always a pleasing sight. You know, he deserves every bit of success he's had so far in this game.
And as you would have noticed in the highlights, the West Indies were in deep trouble on 27 for 3, with John Campbell having retired hurt due to a toe injury. However, Blackwood positioned for a chase and put on 73 for the 4th wicket. Recalled batsman Blackwood then went for a classy and mature 95.
It's a massive win. It's a massive win. To beat England in England is no easy feat. Again, we were able to do it last time we were here in 2017, so we all know what the feeling feels like. But again, things have changed drastically since then, and they're a massive unit in their backyard. So to start the series as well is very, very promising for us, and we feel very proud with the way we've performed.
And he was also in high praise for the key partnership between Chase and Blackwood.
At the start, I guess there were a few nerves going through the dressing room, but Roston and Jermaine really settled the nerves down and really got us in a position to lay a foundation. We knew once we got a partnership, the English bowlers would have gone flat. But credit to England, man, they threw a lot at us. Stokes, Anderson, Jofra, Mark, they all put in a hell of an effort, and they were all challenging. So we knew it wasn't going to be easy. We weren't quite sure how the wicket would have held up, but the heavy roller quite worked for us. This morning I don't think England rolled the wicket, so they probably felt as though the heavy wicket would have probably kept the wicket together. So we decided to put the heavy roller on it, and that I did.
Congratulations to Team West Indies. And we're continuing with the action off the cricket field, though we're going on to the athletics pitch. Decorated 100-meter champion Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce clocked a world-leading 11 seconds at the Velocity first meet in Kingston over the weekend. Athletes are slowly returning to the track. Fraser-Pryce, the former MVP athlete, stopped the clock at 11 minutes flat, or 11 seconds flat, well clear of Sprintex's Shasleigh Forbes, who was second in 11.49. Bahamas's Anthony Strawn was third in 11.84. In the men's equivalent, MVP's Nestor Carter clocked 10.38. He edged out Queno Tracy and Romaro Williams, who both clocked 10.39 for second and third, respectively. It's really great that athletes can get. And a sad note now. The tennis fraternity in the Caribbean and Central American region is mourning the loss of one of its top and longest-serving tennis officials. Colleen Gans of Trinidad and Tobago passed away over the weekend. She was the Central American and the Caribbean Tennis Confederation supervisor for the English-speaking Caribbean. Senior tennis coach in Grenada's Ministry of Sports, Richie Hughes, says while the Gans did not have a direct impact on tennis in Grenada, she always gave Grenadian tennis players competing in regional tournaments.
A very wonderful personality, always a pleasant smile on her face, very approachable, and she always had very good advice for our young players. As I mentioned, ones who were in contact with her were like, Lois Alexis, who eventually got a tennis scholarship to Louisiana, to Southern University. Kevin Charles, my little champion of the Ivan year 2004 in Trinidad and Barbados and Jamaica, and others, Moses Jr., Corey Wilson, and then the last one that I traveled with, Oronfo Ikolo.
Degan served as vice president of the Umpires Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Hughes says she served the region with a passion and humility for over 4 decades.
Okay, so yeah, she impacted all these youngsters, and as I mentioned already, she's been around when we had the Trintalk, the Brandon and Phillips, the Emily Last Top 16, Citibank Open, OECS Invitational at Reds Pereira, organized in the 80s and 90s, ITF Junior and Kotek regional events.
The Gans was recently working on the formation of a Caribbean Umpires Association. And that's a wrap on tonight's sports. And in our probe around the globe this evening, we are making our first stop in Barbados, where the government has issued protocols to guide air travel as the borders reopen with the relaxation of the coronavirus restrictions. Flights were cancelled earlier this year as borders were closed to limit the spread of the COVID-19. Chairman of the Grantley Adams International Airport, broadcaster Vic Fernandez toured the facility ahead of the official opening.
So this is the entrance where the visitors will come in, those who have to be tested. All of the arrangements are set up. This is the queue in here. You've got hand sanitizers all over the place. You have the machines on the other side. So anybody who doesn't have a PCR test, this is where they will be coming to. And nicely done. Tremendous work here by the team at Grantley Adams Airport. Lots of signage. The place has been completely transformed. It's hard to believe this was just a sterile, empty room. Immigration officers are in position, and everything is ready to roll. Health officers are ready. These are the forms which you will be required to fill out. And then beyond here is the seating area until you're called, and then the testing area is up at the back. So quite an impressive setup here at Grantley Adams Airport for the first.
Barbados has joined other countries in relaxing restrictions in an effort to boost the economy. On Sunday, the country welcomed the arrival of Air Canada with 132 passengers.
It's Air Canada, and as you can see, they're getting a water welcome from Barbados, compliments to Barbados Fire Service. This is our first commercial flight since the COVID-19 experience. Through the cannons of water it goes. Air Canada, welcome back to Barbados, Grantley Adams Airport. It's a buzz of activity at the moment. It's almost like the opening of the airport for the first time. And here she comes, a packed flight. Straight out of Toronto, Canada. Landing at Barbados. Special welcome in planned for them. Royal Barbados Police Force Band is here to perform. Have a look at that. This is the medical testing facility area where the tests will be carried out for those who don't have the PCR testing. Then this is where they will wait, stage 4, for the results. They'll be seated here and wait. All the facilities that they need. There's food up at the other end. Physical distancing, as you can see. There is television, complimentary, charging stations for their mobile phones, and sanitizing stations all around. So all in all, Grantley Adams Airport is ready to receive its first visitors on a commercial flight, this time from.
And we'd like to thank Vic Fernandez so that, of course, the broadcaster in him, he just took his cell phone, and as the chairman of the Airport Authority, he was able to provide us with that update. Thanks so much, Vic, for that. We're moving to Guyana, where a fire has destroyed an old wooden prison. The fire started following discontent among prisoners over the seizure of a quantity of marijuana on Sunday afternoon. It destroyed the old wooden Lusigan prison facility and has left about 280 to 300 inmates dislocated. Reports say none of the inmates escaped, and they are currently in an open area at the facility under heavy guard. 8 prisoners were said to have sustained injuries. And we're moving on now to the U.S., where Florida has registered a state record of 15,299 new coronavirus cases in 24 hours. That's around a quarter of all of the United States' daily infections. The state, with just 7% of the U.S. population, surpassed the previous daily record held by California. More in this BBC report.
Another surge in coronavirus cases and a new epicenter for the disease. Florida is now seeing more new infections than most countries. Across the US, more than 60,000 new cases are being reported every day, and about a quarter of them are in the Sunshine State, where the hospital system is under growing strain and some intensive care facilities are at full capacity. When the pandemic started, Florida was slow to respond. The beaches and bars stayed open. They were eventually forced to close, but reopened early, only to be shut down again. This is a state dogged by the disease and confusion over how to deal with it. Even as the numbers rose over the weekend, Disney World opened again to the public, Mickey Mouse at a distance, and mandatory face masks for visitors. But the Republican governor, Ron DeSantis, has refused to issue a statewide order for people to cover their faces. There are some anti-mask activists who believe it's not necessary at all.
The risks are very, very low. This is a virus that has a 99.6% recovery rate. This is a virus that is very well contained.
With other states like Arizona, Texas and California all facing worrying increases in the number of new cases, the Trump administration is focusing on reopening schools in the autumn, despite opposition.
I think everybody would like to get our kids back to school as quickly as we can, but we also want to do it and make sure that our kids are going to be as safe as possible. So we're not going to be rushed into this.
With a growing health crisis, a divided nation and a presidential election looming, the politics of dealing with COVID-19 has never been more intense. Peter Bowes, BBC News, Los Angeles.
And that takes us to the end of our probe around the globe. When we come back, a recap of the main points in tonight's news. Recapping the main points in the news this evening, families trying to find answers as 2 young men die following violent weekend incidents.
Policewoman hurled 6 feet by reckless motorbike rider.
Market vendors meet with government officials on Monday. GBN hosting Vendors Forum on Beyond the Headlines this evening. You won't want to miss that program.
In sports, Windies triumph over England in first test.
And the national female record holder in the javelin, Kanisha Scott, is looking ahead to the next step in her career. She says it's going to be exciting.
And around the globe, Barbados enrolls strict COVID-19 protocols as commercial flights resume.
And Florida sets new state daily case record for the coronavirus.
Now, if you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it would be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at gbn.gd or on GBN's television, Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other stories. I'm Beverly Telesford.
And I'm Odette Campbell. Good night. Remember, we next meet on Beyond the Headlines at 8:35. It promises to be very interesting this evening. We will have a market vendors forum and of course we'll have a representative of the government of Grenada to join us then.